my man. Let's give him a round of applause. Let's do that. Come on. Let's give him a round of applause. Paul Harrison, everybody.
He yelled right in your ear, just so you hear me do it.
I'm the short Paul for this evening. I want to note that I think it's weird that the comedy cocktail menu is a guy with a tie on it and none of us are wearing ties. I don't think we're old school enough to do that. That's the limit to that joke, sorry. Touched it as much as I could, that's it. So, I think people at this point know that the internet creates these weird insular communities, these weird little minority groups. And I think less people know that these minority groups have minority groups in them. They're all still white, of course. This is the internet we're talking about. But these minority groups lead to some really weird contradictions. Like, you don't know what weird is until you've seen a homophobic X-Men fan on the internet. That guy's missing the point for a lot of reasons. Oh yeah, it was Free Comic Book Day today. Who got their free comic book today? Yeah, I did. Got my free comic book. So the thing about the homophobic X-Men fan is that it's kind of like when you see, for the first time, that Orson Scott Card, the guy who wrote Ender's Game, is this massive anti-gay crusader. He's a Mormon, he runs an anti-gay organization, and you're like, oh no, does that mean that when I was growing up reading his book that I'm a homophobe now? Yes, it does. It means you're a homophobe, sorry. In the same way that watching the original Star Trek makes you a sex addict, and watching Lost makes you Jewish. So watch out for that. J.J. Abrams. Jewish joke. I had a dream the other night, speaking of the X-Men, I had a dream the other night where I was Wolverine. I was fighting Hydra on a windmill for some reason. And eventually I got crushed to death and defeated, and then I woke up. And this dream said two things to me. This dream said, A, no one's invincible, not even Wolverine, no matter what you might think. And B, I'm the best there is at what I do. That's Wolverine's catchphrase. Someone got that. That's why I said the Free Comic Book Day thing earlier, because if you did do that, maybe you would understand that reference. Never mind. I get paranoid about having stolen jokes, like, accidentally, so I Google a lot of the jokes I write, and this leads to some really weird late-night domain name purchases. But I think I have a real winner with alamahadis.com. Because if there's two things the internet really loves, it's pornography and conspiracy theories. And I think the slogan for this website is going to be, "We'll plant charges in your South Tower." I don't know why that was a southern accent at that time. That was a little weird. So, one other thing you might want to know about me is that I'm uncircumcised. Thank you. There were some ladies here last time who applauded, and I was like, oh my god, these are the only women. But I didn't really... You may think that it was weird for me growing up like that in gym class and shit, but it really wasn't. It was only weird after I saw a magazine article about circumcision that had a picture of a guy with a turtleneck pushed over his head, representing uncircumcised people, and a turtleneck at regular height, representing circumcised people. And it was then that I realized my dick would never be Steve Jobs. It would never create the iPhone. My dick isn't innovative. Since in some ways, what? I usually get more applause for my penis for that, but I'm willing to not do that tonight. So yeah, I am divorced as well. That's why I applauded for David Del Rio earlier. If you're wondering why I'm divorced, it's because I've treated our relationship like I've been treating this mic stand. It supports me while I ignore it. That's more sad than funny, really. But our relationship's okay now. I even sold my Xbox to my ex-wife, though mostly so I could just make that joke on Twitter. I really shouldn't have given her that good a deal on it, only got one paid. Not good at all. Here's something that should garner applause. My mother beat breast cancer recently. When she first got it, it was really strange though. She sent me an email and she was like, oh yeah, I'll have to go wig shopping soon and my hair's gonna fall out. That's a really weird email to get from your mom. Doesn't she know bandanas are more in style now? Anyway, I got her a subscription to Chemopolitan, the cancer fashion magazine, and That corrected her assumption about passion for cancer patients. I have some health problems too. I was recently introduced to vomit that looks like coffee grounds, which is a really cutesy name for internal bleeding. I mean, when you're internally bleeding, you should probably go see a doctor. You shouldn't just say, oh, it's coffee grounds, ha 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 ha, hilarious. We don't give cutesy names to other serious conditions. We don't call skin cancer skin that looks like Cocoa Puffs. And if you run into a room where someone's been stabbed, you don't go, oh my god, there's red Kool-Aid everywhere. Unless someone stabbed the Kool-Aid man. Alright, I'll tell now what's apparently Paul Shotwell's favorite joke. Try to explain as much as possible. Who here has been hospitalized for a caffeine overdose? Anybody? Nope, just me. So the story is, I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. And we were in one of the outer planes. We were playing jump up on top of some giant fire things that were launching us into the air, and it was fun. And I drank a 4-pack of Monster Energy in about the span of 30 minutes. And much like other drugs, if you're going to do caffeine that hard, you should be around friends you trust. Even if they're barbarians or wizards. They still got me to the hospital in time. The problem with going to the hospital for that is that they can't really do anything for you besides tell you to not fucking do that, okay? And slap some sense into you, you idiot. Don't do that. What's wrong with you? Caffeine overdoses aren't. My pulse was 225 at the hospital, which was pretty awesome, I thought, because I thought I was overclocking myself so I could do my computer. But apparently water cooling doesn't really work with people. That's worth a shot. I see the light. I'm going to say that on mic now. So, I wasn't raised Christian, obviously. Everything I know about Christianity I learned from Ghost Rider comics, which is a little weird, I guess. But it really helped me win a lot of playground arguments, because all the Jesus kids had was, oh, he creates bread and fish and water from wine. And what I had was, I drive a badass flaming motorcycle, motherfucker. That's what I got as a non-Christian growing up. I'll leave you guys with this one. Playing the world's smallest violin, sarcastically, makes you an asshole. I think that's obvious to everybody. But playing the world's largest violin makes you a cellist. Thanks, I'm Paul Harrison. Paul Shotwell.